Since the nameplate's introduction, the CX-5 has become Mazda's best-selling nameplate globally. Here in the Philippines, it's also one of their best-selling models. Springing a surprise this 2022 is the availability of this, the 2022 CX-5 all-wheel drive turbo. Okay, now I know you guys are excited about the turbo part, and I promise we'll get to that later. For now, let's talk about design. The 2022 CX-5 exclusively for the turbo gets this unique front end. You see it in this different grille where the mesh design has been replaced with this more technical looking detail. You also get this new LED headlight design. And towards the side, you'd notice that all the black fender flares have been changed to body colored, and also the 19-inch alloy rims. Altogether, it makes the CX-5 look more planted and actually a bit lower than it was before, even if in terms of ground clearance, it's the same as it was before. Okay, in terms of colors, the CX-5 Turbo is available in the usual Mazda colors such as Soul Red Crystal and Machine Gray. But this one actually comes in two exclusive colors, and that would be Polymetal Gray and this one, Zircon Sand. Now, towards the back, you'd notice that the rear lights have also been changed with the same graphic pattern as the ones you see on the headlight design. You'll also notice that there are actually more body-colored elements as well as at the back, and the tailpipes are also bigger than they were before. Alright, so stepping inside, the 2022 CX-5 all-wheel drive turbo features an upgraded interior. First of all, you get these deep red Napa leather seats, which are again exclusive to this variant. Another thing that has been changed would be the availability of ventilated front seats, so that's perfect for the midday Manila heat and traffic. The steering wheel is also new with a bit more chrome detailing right here. The gauges, if you're familiar with the updated CX-5 from before, they've been carried over with a larger LCD screen in the middle. You also get wireless CarPlay and a wireless charger as well. Alright, when it comes to the back, not much has changed, but of course you get the same conveniences such as the floor-mounted rear vents, and also this one, you get USB connectors here in the center armrest. Now take note, these features have already been in the CX-5 before, but they've been retained here. Another thing that I like about the CX-5 is that actually the rear seats can be reclined in one of different ways. So for example, if you want it more reclined like this, or if you want it a bit more upright, so you can do that here. Well, for those who are after convenience in loading stuff, the CX-5 actually retains its power tailgate. But what is different and what most people don't talk about is that the luggage compartment now features this dual level design. So for example, in this case, the luggage space would be normal, and within this configuration, you can place a lot more stuff underneath. For example, things like tools and what have you. But if you need to maximize the available cargo space, you can actually slide these down, and actually it creates a deeper cargo loading space. Okay, now we're heading to the part that we've all been waiting for, the engine. Springing a surprise this 2022 is the availability of the 2.5-liter SkyActiv turbo engine. Using 95 Ron octane fuel, it makes 253 PS of power and 434 Newton meters of torque. Putting that into perspective, this SUV actually accelerates from 0 to 100 in just 7.7 seconds. The fastest in its segment. If you're worried about fuel, that's no problem, because this car can also run on 91 Ron octane. In that configuration, it makes 231 PS and 420 Newton meters of torque. That's not so bad for a car of this size and caliber. Aside from the new engine, the CX-5 all-wheel drive turbo actually takes in the learnings that Mazda's done with the 7th generation models such as the Mazda 3 and the CX-30. For example, the body frame has been strengthened. Because of this high rigidity, the ride has been improved, and of course, if you go through humps and bumps, the car will feel a lot more solid. Another thing that has been improved would be the suspension. By reducing the lateral or sideways movement, the CX-5 will now have a better ride, and passengers will be less prone to motion sickness. The third thing that they have done is to improve the level of the seats themselves. Now, the deep red Napa leather seats already look great, but the construction of the seats themselves have been changed so that it becomes more supportive. Lastly, Mazda has also improved the level of NVH. For 2022, Mazda has actually upgraded the safety of the CX-5 all-wheel drive turbo by equipping it with the complete iActive Sense safety package. By combining both a radar and a camera system, it gives this Mazda SUV things like radar cruise control, blind spot indicators with rear cross traffic alert, smart city braking even for the back, so when you're reversing and if it detects an obstacle, it will automatically apply the brakes. A driver attention alert which uses the camera facing out of the car to determine whether you're showing signs of drowsy driving. And finally, a 360-degree camera. 10 years since the introduction of the CX-5 nameplate and 10 years since the world first saw the Kodo design, the arrival of the 2022 CX-5 all-wheel drive turbo comes at a great time for Mazda. Not only are they able to come out with a vehicle that actually fits into what enthusiasts have been looking for, which is a high-performance compact SUV, but they've also continued to actually level up the premium experience. We can't wait to drive it some more. This is an SUV that's meant to be driven. But for now, this has been Ulysses Ang of CarGuide.PH.